In this lesson, we're going to continue doing the same kind of work we did in the last lesson, but we're going to basically do lots of different examples on drawing the graphs. So in each case, I'm going to show you what the function is, or the equation of the function, and we're going to look at how to draw it. So the first one we're going to look at how to draw is y equals sine 3x. Now, from the previous lesson, we should understand that this graph is not going higher than 1 or minus 1. So I would sketch out a basic outline of a graph, going up 3 boxes up to 1, 3 boxes down to minus 1, and 3 boxes for each part leading up to the end here. Okay, so once you've done that, we'll have a wee look at what's happening. Now, the first thing I would like you to work out is the period of the graph, like when the first wave finishes. In order to do that, we need to take 360 degrees and divide it by 3. That's what we do with this part here. Now that will give you an answer of 120 degrees. Now that means the first wave finishes at 120 degrees. Now you could draw 3 different waves up to 360, but there's an easier way to do it. And that is to just finish the first wave at 120 degrees. And that way you're just drawing one wave and it doesn't get all confusing by trying to draw 3. In some instances you might have to do that, but for this lesson we're just going to look at this kind of technique here. So if it's finishing at 120, that means the midway point will be 60. This is halfway between 0 and 60, so that will be 30. And to get this one, the easiest thing to do is just add these two here and you'll get 90. If you draw your normal sine wave, you're done. Okay, so the sine wave went up to 1, down to minus 1, crossed through at 60 and 120. Remember, when plotting, I would tend to try and plot my 5 main points. So I would plot a dot there, a dot up here, a dot here, a dot down here, and back there, and try and draw a smooth curve through the dots. Okay, let's look at the next one. Sketch the graph y equals cos 4x. So again, draw your basic outline or axes up to 1 and down to minus 1, and your 3 boxes for each wee section. So let's work out when the first wave finishes. So the period of the first wave is 360 divided by, oops, I'll just come out of that. It'll be 360 divided by 4. And if you do 360 divided by 4, you'll get an answer of 90 degrees. So one wave finishes in 90 degrees. Okay, so we can put 90 there, which means halfway is 45. Half of 45, well, that'll be 22.5. And then the easiest way to get this one here is just to add these two together, because this is the jumps are 22.5, jump 22.5, jump 22.5, and you'll get 67.5. Now when we're plotting this, again, the easiest thing to do is to plot in your 5 main points. The cosine wave starts up here. You should by now know the basic shape of a cosine wave and a sine wave. It bottoms out a wee bit in the middle here, down here, back up here, and then up here. Now try to draw a smooth curve, like don't go straight down. Try and imagine this coming up and curving round. So go along first a wee bit, then down, and then curve it down to there and back up. Start trying to hit this a bit before, and then start curving it round. And if you do that, you should get this kind of shape here. And that's your answer. That's y equals cos 4x. And then you could label it, maybe write it next to it. Okay, let's look at a few more. Okay, so sketch it out. We're going to draw y equals sine a half x. You could see that as 0.5, or you could see it as a half. Doesn't really matter. So the period is the first thing you want to work out. When does the first wave finish? And that is 360 divided by a half. So 360 divided by a half. Now remember, dividing by a half is the same as doubling. Okay, dividing by a quarter is the same as timesing by 4, and so on. So it's going to give us 720. So the end of this graph is actually 720. The midpoint will be 360. Half of that will be 180. Add these two together and you'll get your 540. Again, plot your main points. Now a sine wave starts here, it goes up here, it goes back down in the middle, it finishes there, and here it goes back down to there. And then try and draw a smooth wave all the way through. So something like that. Okay, right, on to the next one. Right, a wee bit harder this one. We've got a wee negative at the front here, so we'll start thinking about just the period first. Always start at that point. So draw your axis out, up to 1, down to -1, and so on. So period needs to divide by 2. So take your 360 degrees, divide it by 2, so 180. So this graph's going to finish at 180. 90, 45, add these two, 135. Now because it's a negative cosine wave, then when we start putting our points in, we want to start, normally starts up here, doesn't it, a cosine wave? So you want to start here, go to there, it's flipped over basically, up to here, down to here, and then back down to -1. And again, try and draw a smooth curve all the way through. It should look something like that. Okay, some harder ones to finish off that you'll see examples like this in the book. Some more complex examples. Now these examples have got a number at the front and also a number here, so it can get a wee bit confusing if you don't know what you're doing. Now the first thing I would advise you to do is draw out your axes like this. Notice we've not put a 1 and a -1 here, and we're going to address that in a second. Now it doesn't really matter which way around you go about this. You could still go for the period first, or you could work out these numbers here. Now this 5 at the front stretches the graph up and down, so it'd be a 5 here and a -5 here. And then if we think about the 6 to get the period of the graph, like when does one wave finish, if you take 360 divided by 6, that'll give you 60. So you can put 60, 30, 15, and that'll be 45. Then just draw a normal sine wave and you're done. Okay, next one, 30 cos 12x. So again, draw it out. So up to 30. And at any point you can pause these and try them yourself and then check. Or go back and try them again and check. So 30 and -30 to get the period of when one wave finishes, divide by 12. So take 360 divided by 12. That's going to give you 30. So the wave finishes at 30. This will be 15, half that, 7.5. Add these two together, 22.5, and then just draw a cosine wave. Okay, last two examples I'm going to do with you. So, -8 sine 10x. Okay, we'll deal with or draw the axis out. Again, you can pause it, try it, and see if you get the right answer. So the -8 will make it go up to 8. That's not, I've seen people put -8 up there, but we're going up positive here, so that's +8, and then down to -8. Still get the period, so we're going to do 360 divided by 10. That's easy enough, that's 36. So 36 here, 18, 9, add these two together, 27. Now we've got to be careful here, it's a negative graph, so that flips it over. So instead of going up, we're going to go down, and then up, and again try and get a smooth curve, so it should look like that. Okay, last one, -4 cos 0.25x. So the first bit we think about, draw it out, again you can pause this and try it, but it should be 4 and -4. To get when the first wave finishes, we need to take our 360, divide it by a quarter basically. So we're dividing by quarter, which is the same as timesing by 4. That's going to give you 1440, really big there. So 1440, half it 720, half it 360, add these two together, 1080. And again, careful here, it's a negative cosine wave. So a negative wave won't start up here, it will start down there, and draw it out. Okay, have a go at the exercise and good luck.